They call it Smashville, and they've got renewed enthusiasm with new head coach Peter Laviolette. The Nashville Predators having a solid season. The Panthers, no strangers to knocking off the big boys in the West. Let's get inside the net, brought to us by BB&T. Super matchup, Denny.
I tell you what, you're talking about big boys. These are big boys, not in terms of just talent, but they're both big in size. Roberto Luongo, there you see the record, 6-4-4 in the season. That's the kind of save percentage we're looking for from Roberto to keep up. And, of course, Pekka Rinne may just be the best goaltender in the NHL, well, behind Jonathan Quick.
And here we go. Only 3 teams in the West have more points than the Predators. One of them's Anaheim. Panthers beat them to open the trip. Here comes Forsberg, and a quick first shot on goal. Roberto Luongo with the save.
Gerard Gallant has blocked something that this team has shown throughout the season. He was a head coach first year in Florida, head coach CBJ, but he was in Montreal. And he says, fast hockey is what I want this team to play. I think in most cases, the Panthers have responded.
Predators control the face-off. Shot stopped by Luongo. Here's Forsberg again. To the point for Roman Josi, who's really emerged back on that blue line, paired up with Shea Weber. Kulikov knocks the puck away. A lot of first-year Predators here. Mike Ribeiro came over. Here comes Bjugstad now. He has been red hot. Bjugstad carries in. Blocked away by Josi. Bjugstad again protecting the puck. Ribeiro after it and plays it back for Shea Weber. Weber's got that huge slap shot from the point. One of the better defensemen in the NHL. Daniel Norris Trophy candidate. Luongo with a save there. Ekblad plays it over to Grimaldi, and here comes Barkov. The give to Campbell. Campbell up ahead. Barkov carries in on the backhand. Rinne will grab it with the glove and he'll hold on.
Peter Laviolette, you would say Pierre Laviolette, but that's not the case. American-born, and I tell you, he's had pretty good success everywhere he's gone for a short period of time. In Long Island, he took a team that wasn't in the playoffs, put him in the playoffs. In Carolina, he took a team that was not in the Stanley Cup Finals. He won a Stanley Cup with them. And now he's doing very well right here in Nashville, early in his tenure as a new coach.
And they're a much more offensive team in the past. I spoke to Laviolette, asked him about that this morning. He said it's a little bit of a message, a mindset. Luongo plays that one over to the corner. Paul Gaustad gave it away to Rocco Grimaldi. Panthers roll out the same lineup as they did the other night in San Jose. Ekblad put it to the Nashville line. Predators control there. And Beck, checked by Dylan Olsen. Ekblad popped it up the boards. Ryan Ellis steps up from his D spot. Play to the point, but not out. Gaustad rolls it back behind the net. Beck again trying to get through a check. Trocheck now on for the Panthers, but Nystrom's able to control. Trocheck stays with him, and Trocheck wouldn't let him get free. And Vincent Trocheck gives it over to Rocco Grimaldi. A couple of the Panthers' 21-year-olds on call-ups with the injuries. Grimaldi and Trocheck have both played very well. Colin Wilson now speeds into the Panther zone with a shot. Save Luongo in the rebound. They couldn't get to it. They just eluded Smith. Seth Jones taken away by Jussi Jokinen. And Volchenkov hammers it back in. Laviolette, when I asked him this morning, he said, yeah, Panthers are playing real well. We've got to be ready right from the draw. Panthers have gotten off to very good starts in most of these games of late, especially on this trip.
That's been the key. A lot of the players have talked about it as well when we had him interviewed in pregame. I mean, these guys are talking about getting good starts, how important it is. And I think it gets everybody in the game. Plus the fact the discipline has been very good. So early in the hockey game, Gerard Gallant and his staff able to get all 4 lines on the ice early.
Panthers have won 2 of 3 so far, beating the Ducks and then the Sharks in a thriller on Thursday night in a shootout. Down low, Willie Mitchell for the Panthers. Been steady as a rock back there on the blue line. First-year Panther, wearing the C as captain. Ellis puts it right back in the Panther zone, though. Derek Roy, the veteran. And now it's Matt Cullen. Olli Jokinen, 13 in yellow, the former Panther, camped out in front. That is what you would call a veteran line.
No question. You know, the fact is Mike Fisher is out of the lineup with torn Achilles tendon, and he might be out for a little while. But if he were back in the lineup, they'd have 8 forwards. 8 forwards who are at least 31 years old.
Panthers complete the line change as Thornton threw one on goal. Here's Forsberg now. A draft pick of the Capitals a couple of years ago, got traded here to Nashville. It seems like, at least early on in his career, a steal of a deal. Put out in front of the net. Good defensive coverage there by Huberdeau. Brian Campbell takes a look, plays it out to center. Huberdeau got a piece of it, but taken back by Forsberg. He falls down. Now Josi carries in over the Panther line. They give to Neal, back to the point, Weber. And Luongo with a big save there.
Weber didn't get all of that. Somehow he fell down. He wasn't quite balanced. He can really shoot it.
Wilson throws it behind the net. Fleischmann.
As a matter of fact, Shea Weber doesn't shoot nearly as hard in practice on purpose. Doesn't want to hurt his goaltenders.
He has got a rocket of a shot. 6 goals this year for the defenseman Weber. Fleischmann lifts it down the ice, now trying to beat Weber to the puck. And Fleischmann able to out-battle Weber. Centering pass tipped away. He was looking for Grimaldi. Pretty good play there by Thomas Fleischmann. Wilson at center. Nice step up there by Dylan Olsen, and Fleischmann again. Moves into the Predator zone. Centering feed. Grimaldi tracks it down. Takes a shot that's blocked. And it carries right over to Ljungberg. Another one of the young Predators, 23-year-old Swede.
He came from the Ottawa Senators organization that trade for Legwand. Here's a guy who'd been here a long time, right? Day one.
Yeah, Legwand was the first ever pick. Let's take a look at our scratches from Baptist Hospital, and there it is. Same 5 out of the lineup. Colby Roback is healthy, and all of those players skated this morning, so
they're all healthy.
Perhaps there'll be some big decisions to make down the road for the Panthers, and that's a good situation to have because, tell you what, the depth of this organization, we're really starting to see it now from these drafts the last 3-4 years. Grimaldi and Trocheck both called up, and both have been in very strong.
Just want to be able to be a little more Bolin and Upshall. Probably would not be in that they're all healthy comment I just made. They still are a little ways away. But you've got a winning lineup.
Hayes finds Kulikov. It's Trocheck, Hayes, and Jokinen. They've been very effective as a trio. Now Derek Roy slides it out to center. Cullen throws it over the Panther line. It's Olli Jokinen now, watched by Kulikov. Shot went wide. Seth Jones gathers it in. Back around for Jokinen. Still the Panthers' all-time leader in goals and points. Matt Cullen back there, number 7, another former Panther. Chipped right in front of the Panther net. Loose puck. It came right through Luongo's crease. Mitchell for Hayes. He's under pressure, and it's knocked away. That's Josi, the defenseman.
He is so fast, Josi, and so aggressive. They couldn't get a line change faster than he could get to the corner and get the puck for the Panthers. There's interference right there.
And Nystrom ran over a Panther right in front. They let that go. Gaustad all over Derek McKenzie. And it's Gaustad again. Throwing one from the sharp angle. Luongo will hang on to it. Just underway on a Saturday night in the Music City. And we're scoreless. Welcome back, everybody, to Nashville, where the Panthers and Predators are scoreless. Nick Bjugstad has been red hot, and perhaps there's a special reason, Billy.
Goldie, Nick Bjugstad was using Bauer hockey sticks. Not too happy with it. Needed a change. Well, he went to one True Temper hockey stick, and you can see the hockey stick he's using now. There's no label on it or anything. He's one of 2 players, he thinks, in the NHL using that stick. True Temper is known for golf shafts, but they're now getting into the hockey market. He went and he says, my stick has got a lot more pop, a lot more juice, and I guess so. He's got 4 goals on this road trip, and he's shooting the puck like a demon. So that stick change has been a big part, I think, for Nick Bjugstad's success.
Now, maybe Billy will tell us in a moment, but I know for me, it was the most important part of my equipment. The skates, gloves, everything else could be so-so. It didn't matter. But the way that stick felt was so important.
Now, Bjugstad has been red hot, leading the Panthers now in goals with 6. A couple of 2-goal games on the trip. Here's a shot that Luongo makes a save on the left pad. So the Predators put 7 on goal already. Panthers want to tilt the ice the other way a bit. Here comes Aaron Ekblad, has an opening and a slap shot. Rene will hold it in the glove. Upcoming shows at the BB&T Center. You can go to Ticketmaster.com or call 835 Show, Yo Gabba Gabba, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and the Black Keys all coming to Sunrise next month. Of course, the Panthers back home for a week-long 3-game homestand starting Monday against Minnesota. Gaustad is one of the best in the NHL at the faceoff. He won that one. Ekblad held it in momentarily. Here comes Beck for the Predators. Shoots high over the net. Gaustad played it to the point for Jones. His wrist shot knocked down in front by Ekblad. He knocked that down with the soft part of the hand.
Yeah, exactly. Other players have broken their hands like that, namely Josh Georges.
Kopecky with the steal now. Ekblad fires cross ice. Kopecky moved it further along and then to the line, but it's turned the other way. And Wilson down the wing, couldn't pick his way around Brian Campbell. Wilson now finds Beck down low. Chance in front, the shot goes wide, and then a penalty on the Panthers. Thornton is going to go for the hit on Jan Kruk.
Called it a cross-check. Watch. I mean, that's a push right there. You're allowed to do that, and it's sort of like irresponsible in the sense that when you figure earlier, Campbell got run over, not so dissimilar than that, and he didn't have the puck.
So Gerard Gallant looking for his penalty kill to come up big here.
Yeah. Thornton is really upset because he's had a couple of calls that I think have been called because of reputation more so than actual infraction.
Yeah, certainly that was not a cross-check.
That was ridiculous.
Sense.
He pushed. You're allowed a push.
Stick never even touched Jan Kruk. Panthers had possession, couldn't get it out. Bukestad on the back check along with Jokinen with some good work, and now they do get it down the ice.
The only time, I mean, a push is something that, you know, if the guy's up against the board and it's violent and he gets hurt, yeah, that's, you know, that qualifies. But a situation like that, it's getting a little frustrating for Thornton because he had a penalty not so similar, not so so dissimilar than that one in the LA game, you'll remember.
Seth Jones up at the point now, walks the blue line, finds James Neal, and back again for Jones for a big blast that misses high. Mitchell over to Kulikov, has a little bit of an opening and uses it.
Seth Jones, rookie season last year, he was a minus 23 on a team that typically plays much better than that, but he's having a bit of a bounce back right now. He found a partner and Volchenkov a little older. He's a +4 so far this season.
Roman Josi carries. Dylan Olsen knocks the puck down and gets a clear. That one caught Weber up high.
Specialty teams are not these two teams' best strength. 5-on-5, both these teams are very good. Specialty teams, not quite the same. Offside. Well, we talked about the specialty teams. Give you an idea. It's not someone, there's the power play king is Weber, but, you know, the rest of his crew, not very big on the power play so far. 23rd in the National Hockey League. It's an area where they feel they've got to improve. They're terrible on home ice. 1 power play goal on 25 opportunities.
Smith put it behind the Panther net. Good Branson beats Wilson to the puck, and now Derek McKenzie getting it all the way down. So far, so good on the PK for the Panthers. Panthers have been one of the better road teams in the NHL. Points in 8 of their 10 games away from home. Nashville 6-1-1 here on home ice. And the Panthers, Willie Mitchell holds onto the puck as the penalty ends, and Thornton is back. A strong kill by the Cats. Barkov went down in behind the net there. Josi up ahead for Roy. Takes a shot that deflected off of Josi and goes up and out of play for a whistle.
You know, just continuing with the specialty teams, and their penalty killing is not so great either. They're 28th in the NHL penalty killing, so the Florida Panthers might get an opportunity. Panthers have scored power play goals, 1 in each of the last 4 games, so 4 consecutive games. If they can get another one in today's game, that would tie a franchise record. 5 consecutive games with power play goals, and as I said, Nashville may be the victim.
Predators win the faceoff here.
if the Panthers can get a power play.
Goalie Jokinen. Taken away by Ekblad. Jokinen hustling back. Hayes chasing him. Goalie trying to lose Jimmy Hayes and just does get it out to center ice. Free puck there, and Hayes has it now. Hayes has Trocheck charging the net. Hayes carries in, puts it towards the front of the net, deflected away. You see Jokinen for the Panthers. In case you're wondering, there is no relation between the two veteran Jokinens. Hayes in the corner. Scooped up now by Jokinen. And the centering pass was deflected away. Ekblad hustles back as both teams make a change.
5 million people in Finland. Come on.
You think they're related somehow?
Somewhere.
All right, maybe we've got to go a little further down the
5 million people.
family tree, if you will.
It's incredible when I think of Sweden and Finland, the amount of athletes that they produce we see in the Olympics, not just in hockey, it's quite incredible.
Yeah, both those countries, especially in hockey, they always show well, the Swedes and the Finns. And a number of Finns in the game tonight, including a few for the Panthers. Aaron Ekblad and the Cats here in Nashville, scoreless early. We are back Saturday night in Nashville. You know, we don't just show up a little bit before the game starts. I mean, this is a day-long project. Here we are at the morning skate, and you know what? It's only game 18, and look, you know what? I've had enough of Randy Moller. I mean, he's telling some, yeah, that's it. Enough of him already. It's only November, Denny.
I know. What bloviating, I think he was doing, right?
Well, you were smart. You weren't even listening.
I wasn't even listening.
Always a pleasure coming to the great city of Nashville. Panthers and Predators. Real good matchup here tonight. Predators have had the better of play so far. Panthers did kill the one penalty. Did a good job in the penalty kill. As Nashville shoots in, Dylan Olsen over to Huberdeau. Under pressure from Shea Weber. Ribeiro tried to hold it in. Couldn't do it. Bukestad swipes it away. Bukestad moves into the offensive zone. Looking for some help. Puck deflects through the slot. Now good Branson. Over to Boys, but had a little too much mustard, and Boys couldn't settle it down. Boys and Bukestad keep the play alive. Yossi now finds an open man, stolen away. Here's Boys, put out in front, deflected away by Shea Weber. Weber's one of those defensemen in the league that plays huge minutes.
Yeah. Hope the Panthers get the puck in the offensive zone, because here in Nashville there's a few different things. We haven't seen the Panthers with the puck in the offensive zone very much so far.
Barkov now. Grimaldi went down, and Wilson bangs it off the wall. Gathered in by Dmitry Kulikov, paired back up with Willie Mitchell. Kulikov missed 4 games, came back the other night in San Jose, and picked right up where he left off. What a solid, consistent season Dmitry Kulikov is having. Barkov is out to the neutral zone. But the Predators take back over again. Lead pass looking for Beck. Read well by Brian Campbell. It allows Fleischmann to move down the wing. Fleischmann double teamed along the boards. Wilson knocks it free. Beck is under pressure. Ekholm now lifts it to the Panther line. Glove down by Sean Thornton, and he'll shoot in. Now Thornton and McKenzie will try to work the forecheck. This is when you know the Panthers are at their best. When they get that forecheck going and pin the other team in their zone, Predators will move it out of their own end very quickly. Campbell back around for Aaron Ekblad. He had 6 shots attempted in the game Thursday at San Jose and blocked 4 others, did Ekblad. Did not get on the score sheet. His point streak came to an end. Nystrom waits for the play to get onside. Gives to Seth Jones. He's in. He shoots. Saved by Luongo. Cut down the angle well, did Roberto.
Boy, we've seen the Florida Panthers dominate the neutral zone. They're being dominated so far. Left side right there. The pressure coming from all sides.
And guys, Nashville Predators are the best 5-on-5 team in the NHL. They're also the least penalized team in the NHL. So they spend a lot of time 5-on-5. They've outscored their opponents 42-23 at even strength. And their top line of Ribeiro, Neal, and Forsberg is a combined plus 47. Forsberg is plus 20 by himself. He leads all the NHL in that category. So Panthers are going to be on their toes 5-on-5.
And quite a start for the Predators. Here's Cullen shooting wide. Now Jokinen fires, hit his own man in front row. Cullen turns and shoots. That's blocked away. Good Branson looking for Hayes. Held in by Cullen again. Luongo puts it to the corner. Here comes Jones on the pinch. And Seth Jones, the 4th overall pick in the draft last year. The Panthers took Alexander Barkov second. Jokinen didn't get all that shot. Didn't get much of it. Stays in play high off the glass, and good Branson. Plays it to the Nashville line, settled down by Hayes. Hayes gets to the forehand, looking. Here's Mitchell jumping up. Takes a shot, blocked away in front. Jokinen on the loose puck, turns and shoots. That's blocked by Jones. Kulikov in the corner. Scooped up now by veteran Anton Volchenkov. And Forsberg had it stolen away by Kulikov. Bukestad line now on for Florida.
Good thing Huberdeau got a guy that hits, because Forsberg could have been in the twilight zone there at center ice. Suicide pass.
Billy Mitchell hustles back. Bukestad clears it down the ice. Here's Shea Weber over to Josi. Weber now knocked down by Bukestad. Neal on the shoot-in. Ekblad quickly sends it all the way down. Fleischmann tries to hustle back to negate the icing, but Josi had a couple of steps. We invite you for your next company outing, holiday party, or just a friends and family gathering. Come on out to the BB&T Center with the Panthers. Go to FloridaPanthers.com or call 954-835-PUCK and bring your group on out for some Panthers hockey.
Show off your mustache.
Why not? It's Movember. Wilson off the faceoff. Good play by Fleischmann. Took it right away from him. Thomas Fleischmann carries in over the line. Fleischmann stays with it. Tied up behind the net. It comes over to Campbell. Fleischmann again. Battling with Ekholm. And now Barkov. Able to control. Look at the strength of Barkov. Gets chopped down. Plays it back around as he pops back up for Fleischmann. Rocco Grimaldi now down low. Here's what the Panthers want to do. Spend some time in the Predator zone. But Nashville able to finally work it free, and here comes Wilson. Ekblad quickly got it out. Seth Jones circles back as the Panthers complete the change. The McKenzie line now on. Lead pass didn't find Matt Cullen. Dylan Olsen. That one took a funny hop off the glass. Sean Thornton there to play it and funnel it to the middle of the ice where Campbell scoops it up. Campbell eludes a big check attempt.
That's why they got Volchenkov.
Comes off a game the Predators lost in Ottawa. Volchenkov had 11 hits officially in that game against the Senators on Thursday.
And that's originally his team. Started with the Ottawa Senators.
A rare regulation loss for Nashville. 12-5-2 this season. They've gotten off to a good start.
Now they had Carter Hutton in goal. Carter Hutton has not won a game so far this year. They were saving Pecorine for tonight.
Carried in by Gaustad. The shot well wide. Josi lets one go. That's blocked. Josi has it again. Josi feeds the goal line. Back in front. Saved by Luongo. Rebound goes wide. Well, they moved that puck well. Josi goes for Gaustad. Luongo with a nice pad save. Roberto. Sharp again here in the first period on the road. Luongo won the game in San Jose the other night. A building he really likes playing in San Jose. Told me this morning talking to him, kind of likes this building too. The Bukestad line on for the Panthers. Huberdeau couldn't control at the blue line. Forsberg. Ekblad gets back for Brad Boys now. Boys takes a look, hits Huberdeau in stride. But Bukestad has to reset. And here comes Big Nick. Carrying into the offensive zone. Gets to the forehand with a shot that's blocked away by Ellis. Ribeiro. Top line on now for the Predators. Forsberg moves in. Good Branson right there with him and gives him a good shoulder. And then takes it away and finds Boys. Solid D by Good Branson. But the Panthers were unable to get it out. And Luongo's going to have to hold on for a whistle. Late in the first period here in Nashville. We remain scoreless. Late in the first period, Roberto Luongo already with 13 saves, and we remain scoreless.
Well, it's been really a very strong period by the Predators, and they're tough to penetrate. Keep an eye on the left side of your screen. Here's what happens. You're going to see Ellis step right up at center ice. You don't see that very often from the team. Normally, most teams will try and step up at the blue line, but the LA Kings do this a lot. I have to think Nashville has taken a page out of the LA Kings book, and you keep your gap incredibly tight under Peter Laviolette, and you can see that the Florida Panthers have not been in control of the neutral zone so far in this hockey game.
Luongo's been strong. 5 of those 13 Nashville shots on goal have come from their defensemen. Their D will push, including the top 2, Weber and Josi.
It's a big part of the plan that Laviolette has instituted to try and get more goal scoring from this franchise that has been perennially low in the NHL in goal scoring per game.
Bjugstad blocked the centering pass, but Wilson gathers the puck back in, finds an open man. It's Josi with a slap shot blocked by Boyes. Panthers unable to clear. It's Wilson down low. Dylan Olsen just wouldn't let him get free. Good defensive work there. And Huberdeau is out. Roman Josi, mainstay for Switzerland at the Olympics on defense, and boy, he's turning into quite a player here for the Predators. James Neal fires cross ice for Josi. His slap shot hit his own man in front, Nystrom, and Rocco Grimaldi takes away. Grimaldi, so shifty, able to clear the zone. Weber goes for Ellis. Barkov on him. Ellis flips in, nicely played by Kulikov. But again, there's the neutral zone for the Predators, and they're able to get it deep one more time. Beck knocked away by Barkov. Beck hustles after it, plays the point. Ellis throws one behind the Panther net. Barkov checked by Nystrom. Gaustad able to work it free, but Kulikov comes over to swipe it from him. Fleischmann got it deep in the zone. The McKenzie line on for the final 10 of the first period. And McKenzie won't let Ekholm get out. And that'll do it for the first 20 here in Nashville. And the Panthers and Predators remain scoreless. Luongo was very strong again.
Well, I can't say honestly that the Nashville Predators are the fastest team I've seen in the NHL, but I will go ahead and say they are the quickest. Boy, have they been on top of the Florida Panthers the start of this game, smothering any puck carrier.
Coming up in our first intermission tonight, we'll hear from Jonathan Huberdeau, and we'll go inside the Panthers on the road. All our stats, all our analysis just ahead as well. All in our first intermission report. After one, the Panthers and the Predators are scoreless. Literally right across the street from Bridgestone Arena on Broadway. Some of the most famous country places here in Nashville, Tennessee. A great town, and we'll get going here in the second period at the Bridgestone Arena. But here's a look at what the Panthers have done against the very difficult Western Conference so far this year, Denny. They've beaten San Jose twice, beat the Anaheim Ducks, the #1 team in the West, already this year.
Well, there's several areas that are really quite impressive. The goals per game, for one. Not very many teams have that kind of an average. Now, the goals against, we said that the Panthers have got to be a little better in that area. But take a look at the power plays. This is an area that Gerard Gallant felt his team did not start out very well, but they are getting a lot better. That's 50% power play opportunity. So some very good signs, and the Panthers hope that they show up in this period. Roberto Luongo, 14 saves in the first period. At the other end, Pekka Rinne, only 4. Here's Pekka Rinne, 6'6". I talked about big goaltenders. They're big in terms of their hockey stature, but also in size.
He leads the league, tied for first in wins, third in goals against. And quickly, Rinne will hold the puck.
Well, he's done a lot. Last season, he, of course, missed 53 games. That was another reason why the Nashville Predators missed the playoff for the second consecutive year. This guy is a two-time Vezina Trophy finalist as the best goaltender in the NHL. He's a finalist 2 times.
Bjugstad, Boys, and Huberdeau on for the Panthers. Off the draw, Weber able to play it and get it out to center ice. Kulikov controls for the Panthers. Kulikov fires ahead. Boys on the wing. Takes a shot that goes wide. Huberdeau's on it. The give to Bjugstad down low through him, but Boys there to clean up. Brad Boys tries to get it out in front. Bouncing puck now. Huberdeau's got it. Slides it back to the point. Kulikov back around for Boys behind the net. Good opening shift to the second period for the Panthers. Bjugstad. Checked by Weber. Tied up by Weber. Huberdeau and Gaustad there. This is the kind of work the Panthers want to get back to. Now behind the net. Rinne will stop it for Josi, and the Panthers get a change. The Barkov line is on.
Yeoman's work in that corner by the Florida Panthers, but then they needed a change.
Here comes Rocco Grimaldi in over the line. Ellis fell down. Grimaldi in front with a chance. A pass over to Barkov, though, did not connect.
Sometimes you're just too unselfish when you come up from the American League. There's no way Grimaldi should not have shot that puck. Oh, my. He is visualizing this, and it is looking darker every time he sees it. There is no better opportunity. A guy falls down. The defenseman slides by you. Rocco, you could have rocked the house.
Looking for that first goal. Told him the other day, I'd like to get it out of the way
already. For that first goal. It was right there.
Neal off the faceoff.
Boy.
Big James Neal carrying the puck. Turns behind the net, Ribeiro. Watched by Barkov. A veteran Ribeiro. Got nearly a point a game this year. Ekholm up high. Saved by Luongo, who tracked it all the way. Another shot deflects in behind the net. Ribeiro again. For Forsberg out in front. Saved by Luongo. Boy, Roberto looks calm and cool in net tonight, as he has most of the season. Turnover here. Barkov into the zone. Barkov waits, puts it out in front. Again, the Panthers don't just throw the shot on goal there. Like to see him fire some pucks at Rinne.
I tell you what, Fleischmann has made 3 very impressive plays so far in this game in the defensive zone, and on that last play, he's the one who got the puck loose.
Wilson checked by Trocheck, forces the turnover. Jokinen gets it to the point, Goodbranson. Puck bouncing around. Jan Kruk for the Predators, moving in. Jan Kruk lets one go. Luongo the save. He got a piece of it. Up high. And Jussi Jokinen tries to get it past Wilson. That's a dangerous play, and they couldn't get it out of the zone. Put towards the front of the net, hit Goodbranson's skate. Now Wilson with it, to the point, the shot in front, knocked down, free puck. Smith shoots Luongo with a stick save. Goodbranson goes off the glass. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play.
Rocco Grimaldi passing up that shot. You have 4 shots in the first period. You got to come out with a shoot-first mentality. A goaltender as good as Pekka Rinne, you cannot pass up shots. Even Barkov going in the zone, hesitating. Goldie, you made the point. Shoot the puck right away. Panthers have to make a commitment in this game to get more pucks towards the net.
You know, the point Billy makes a very good one, because you don't step on the ice without having had a little bit of visualization. I mean, you can't just play this game, show up and play. There's got to be preparation, and I have to think that Grimaldi, the opportunity presented itself. It wasn't that quick that it wasn't easy to think, I'm shooting all the way. That, to me, is as tough a play as a mistake by a defenseman or a turnover.
Sean Thornton will lift it down the ice. Knocked down at center ice by Volchenkov. Kulikov picks it up. Feeds McKenzie. Derek McKenzie goes for Willie Mitchell. He'll take a shot. It comes through wide. Carries up the wing. Kulikov again at the line. Kulikov with a nice move. They give to Kopecky. Out in front, McKenzie. Thornton couldn't tee it up. And Olli Jokinen there to take away for the Predators. Only 1 point this season for Jokinen. Finally scored a goal the other night. Had no points going in. Odd for one of the better scorers throughout his career.
18 games he went. One of the veterans signed by David Boyle, the general manager here. He's not looking for, building a team here. He wants a team right now to get them back into the playoffs. 2 years in a row. Nashville has missed the postseason. He says that is the ultimate goal.
Here comes Boys with Bukestad. Huberdeau's the trailer. And the pass for Huberdeau didn't connect. Boys try to drop it for him. Yossi goes the other way. Forsberg over to Ribeiro. Head up, looking for a man. Has Neal. Oh, what a glove save. Roberto Luongo ripped it out of the air on James Neal's slapper.
I tell you what, save, 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. Pass, 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. Pass is getting to be a bad word. I mean, the Panthers are turning the puck over. This pass, the quick shot by Neal, and the save is outstanding like there. As Roberto Luongo had a chance to see it. That is the key. Good quick shot by Neal, but Roberto had a beat on it.
And to the point of taking the shots, only 5 on goal, but only 12 in the game attempted by the Panthers as Luongo covers up, and that's not very many for this point in the game. They're going to have to start firing.
That's the point. One of the hardest things for a defenseman, by the way, not even talking goaltenders, the attacking team in the offensive zone keeps shooting the puck. You're just turning around, you're spinning around, you're out of control, you skate out of position. That is how you get things moving. And the Panthers have been doing that of late.
Here comes Huberdeau, slides it in front, and Rene is going to have to cover that, so they'll get a draw on the Predator zone.
Well, we don't want to just pick at what the Panthers are doing so far, but they're not playing very much like they were playing in the early part of this road trip. And the fact is you got to be a little quicker, try and match the speed and the quickness in particular of this Nashville team.
Gaustad against Bukestad. As mentioned, Gaustad's one of the best in the league, and he's 3 for 3 tonight.
Over 57% for Gaustad in the face-off circle this year.
Panthers won it. Here's the shot saved by Rene.
That's all you need.
Good Branson let it go in a hurry after the face-off win. Olsen fires up to center, past everybody. Panthers complete the line change now. Here's Trocheck, Jokinen, and Hayes. Shea Weber takes a look, throws it all the way down the ice. Well, they wave off the icing there. Gaustad able to play it.
Well, that's because it went all the way around. And it's not a bad play. You can see that's a Peter Laviolette play. They send their wingers high, and they try and get the opposing team to back off.
We get a whistle. And fans, coordinate your next company outing, holiday party, or a friends and family gathering at the BB&T Center. Group tickets, a minimum of 10. Come on out, enjoy some Panthers hockey. 954-835-PUCK. Call for your tickets. Neutral zone face-off, and Wilson shoots in. Luongo with 21 saves tonight. Wilson takes over again. Here's Smith out in front. The pass went right through Wilson's legs. The clear by Hayes. Jokinen trying to catch up to it. Seth Jones, though, able to get there. Jokinen's on him. Seth Jones moves it ahead. Here comes Craig Smith. The drop for Jankrup. Now to the point, Volchenkov goes cross ice. Jones with a wrister. That came through wide. Volchenkov again. Mitchell cuts it off for the Panthers. And Willie Mitchell will backhand it all the way down the ice. And the Panthers will be called for icing.
Here's one of the reasons why the Panthers are not as effective right now. The guy with the puck's the only guy moving. We're going to show you just the last shift. You've got Willie Mitchell with a puck on his stick trying to get out of the zone. Watch the other 3 forwards. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Every one of the 3 forwards is standing still. You're not going to be able to get the puck to them. And if you do, they're going to get checked inside the blue line.
Ellis, wrist shot, hit Jokinen in front. That was Ole. Jussi Jokinen on the clear for Hayes. Hayes is into the Predator zone. 3 men back for Nashville, though. Hayes gives to Trocheck behind the net. Roy watches him, and Roy gets the steal. Ekholm has to reset. Up to center and chipped in over the Panther line. Played back to center. Thomas Kopecky. Tried a shot, blocked by Ellis. Kopecky again. Rinne out of his net. Ekholm under pressure by Sean Thornton. Olli Jokinen now. Nearly had a stolen away, but Cullen's able to squeak it out to center ice. Lead pass. Jokinen down the wing. Ekblad closed on him. Forces Olli to pivot back. Finds a man. It's Ekholm. Oh, that hit McKenzie up high, and he went down quickly. McKenzie pops back up. Boy, that's dangerous when that big slapper gets someone high up like that. Matt Cullen. And now a chance side of the net by Roy is stopped. Campbell got a piece of it. Jokinen gathers it in. Olli Jokinen watched by Campbell. It's Cullen again. Spinning away. Putting it in front. Kicked up to the point. And Thornton will get it out. The Predators continue to put major pressure on the Panthers. Ekblad with a steal here, but we remain scoreless. Funny hop off the boards. Comes to Grimaldi. Rocco shifts down low. Grimaldi's out in front of the backhand. Loose puck at the circle. Dylan Olsen pokes it to the corner for Fleischmann. Back again. Olsen. Big slap shot. Rinne the save. Fleischmann checked by Weber. Grimaldi trying to walk out of that corner. Couldn't do it cleanly. Fleischmann, good stick here work. Along with Grimaldi, but then stolen away by Forsberg. Philip Forsberg trying to get around Dylan Olsen. Neal over to the boards. Checked by Grimaldi. Forsberg works it free. Ellis slap shot. That one deflected and trickled just wide of Luongo's net. Olsen gets it up the boards, but not out yet. Panthers need a change. That Barkov line's been out there for a while. They still can't clear. Ekholm, watched by Barkov. Over to Ellis. Here's Forsberg. High slot. Takes a shot. Luongo makes a blocker save as that puck kind of knuckled in and dropped down at the last moment. Grimaldi with the clear.
You're right. It looked like it was deflected.
Well, the Panthers, because that long change in the second period, still can't get off the ice. Some tired players. Ribeiro gets out in front. Couldn't pull the trigger. He's still got the puck, and now a penalty on the Panthers.
Always happens.
Oh, they need a whistle here in a bad way. Extra skater on for Nashville. Wilson off the bench joins the play. Ribeiro, and finally, the Panthers get a touch. The PK is going to need to come through. A scoreless game nearly midway through. The Predators will get a power play. Dylan Olsen in the penalty box, Denny, and the Predators going to go on the power play for the second time.
Well, I can't blame Dylan Olsen on this one. It's really a team thing. They just couldn't get the puck out. Had a couple of opportunities, but there's Olsen right there. You'll see the stick up around the waist, and it's kind of a skiddy call, but the referee says you're not supposed to have that stick in that area. So, I mean, worse things have happened, but the Panthers really did bring it on themselves. They had a couple of opportunities to get it out, did not, but they were really blitzed by a team in Nashville. I am surprised at their quickness, and they really pressed the offense. You see how the defensemen pinch up on the play all the time. We saw Weber go all the way down in the Florida Panther corner at one point, attacking a forward who's got the puck. That kind of high pressure we never saw here in Nashville before, and you certainly attribute it to new coach Peter Laviolette.
Only 3 Predators right now do not have shots in the game. Amazingly, Jokinen, Ribeiro, and Roy. So here we go on the power play.
And the Panthers defensemen are getting tired. I'm watching at ice level. They're gasping for breath. They're wearing down the Panthers defensemen.
You know, they've had that puck possession, no question. Throughout this game, the Panthers need to get that reversed in a big way. So a big penalty kill here for Florida, trying to keep it scoreless. Trying to get their game going. Josi and Weber will man the points, and this is Roman Josi. Up ahead, too far for Wilson. Funny how games work, the ebbs and flows. You know,
Yep.
The Panthers can kill this off, give themselves some life. Even though the Predators have dominated, it's still a scoreless game.
We've seen this too often. A team dominate on the shot clock and get down by a goal. And then all of a sudden, as you mentioned, Goldie, the attitude changes.
Good play by Kopecky. Here comes Jokinen on now to kill the penalty, along with Nick Bjugstad. Campbell with Goodbranson. Campbell taking Dylan Olsen's spot with Goodbranson on the PK with Olsen in the box. And Campbell plays it around the boards. Bjugstad with a good play there on Ribeiro. But Ribeiro able to get it up to the point, and now Roman Josi has a bouncing puck. He goes to the corner behind the net for Wilson. Ribeiro one more time. Weber camped out up at that point on that far side. Smith's shot knocked down in front. Loose puck. Brian Campbell slides over. Attack by Weber. Got a piece of it. Smith again over to Wilson. Ribeiro holds. Down low. Wilson. Back again Ribeiro. Trying to get across ice to Weber for a big blast. This is Josi. Panthers are watching Shea Weber in a big way. Josi. Now Weber's got it. Puts it out in front. Redirected on goal. Saved by Luongo. Loose in front. And Bjugstad with a nice poke check. So Wilson couldn't get a shot off. Puck remains in the zone, and now it comes out. Final seconds of the Olsen penalty. And Goodbranson is in possession. Campbell lost his stick. Here comes Fleischmann right off the bench. Fleischmann walks in. Fleischmann now picked up by Barkov. Stopped by Rene. Free puck in the corner. Thomas Fleischmann again at even strength. Stolen away by Jan-Kruk. So the Panther penalty kill, they really kept the Predators on the perimeter and never allowed Nashville to do what they really wanted to do, which was load up Shea Weber for a big bomb from the point. Ekholm spins, holds, tipped away by Barkov. Beck now at the end boards, watched by Barkov. Mitchell takes away. Plays it around. Ryan Ellis is there, though, for Nashville. Fleischmann to center. Here comes Grimaldi at the red line to dump in. Panthers will grab a change. Cullen. Lead pass for Jokinen. Trocheck back defensively on the veteran Olli Jokinen. Olli Jokinen checked by Jussi Jokinen. And Jussi for the Panthers. Rolls it out to center. Tracked down by Vincent Trocheck. Trocheck charges. Seth Jones gets the steal. Good play by Trocheck. Jones now back on it.
I can't believe Jones stepped out of the way. Wow. Jones has 30 pounds on the kid. Yeah, that's the criticism.
Seth Jones with a puck now. Fires ahead. Off Beck's stick. Beck goes behind the net, puts it out towards the side of the cage, but Gaustad couldn't handle it. And Nick Bjugstad now. Bjugstad, Huberdeau, and Boys on for the Panthers. Here comes Boys leading the breakout. Boys over the line with a quick shot. Stick save for Rene.
Smart shot that could have resulted in a good rebound, but Pekka Rinne handled it perfectly.
Gaustad over the Panther line. Shovels it back into the corner here for Beck. Ekblad with him. Ribeiro now right off the bench. Weber over to Josi. Has some room. Slap shot blocked away in front. He had room, but there were so many bodies in front of the net. Would have been real tough to get it on goal. Boys hustles after the puck. Boys trying to lose Josi. Flipped out in front, but no Panther could reach it.
Oh, McKenzie had just stepped on the ice.
Ribeiro. Centering pass. McKenzie was positioned well. James Neal fights off a check. They give to Nystrom. Neal again. Works it free. Ribeiro. Saved by Luongo. Rebound is loose, and Roberto's got it again. We're down to 6:10 left in the second period, and we're still looking for the game's first goal. Good to see a young Panther fan here in Nashville enjoying it. We're scoreless, getting laid on in the second, Billy.
What a trade that they made last year to get Philip Forsberg from the Washington Capitals, and he's just been a tremendous find as a rookie. He actually scored goals in 6 straight games. He is one of 4 active players to accomplish that feat as a rookie. The others, Evgeny Malkin, Alex Ovechkin, and Michael Grabner. So pretty good company for Philip Forsberg, and he's on a tear with that top line with Neal and Ribeiro. They've recorded a point in 11 straight games.
Nashville wins the faceoff. Luongo makes a save there. Here's Ekholm shooting. That's blocked away. The Predators have fired 27 shots now on goal in the game at even strength, but only 1 on their 2 power play chances. The Panther penalty kill has been good here tonight. And we remain scoreless. Thornton trying to get around Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm gathers the puck in, takes a hit from Kopetsky. Puck, though, squeaks out to center. Panthers have not had a power play yet in the game. Willie Mitchell takes a look under pressure, gets it through to Kulikov. Up ahead, Grimaldi chips in.
You know, the gap is getting widening between the defensemen and forwards for the Panthers. That's why a guy like Mitchell's having a tough time finding a target.
Panthers have won 2 out of 3 so far in the trip. This is the final game before heading home Monday to play Minnesota. Barkov forces Jokinen go behind the net for Jones. Olli Jokinen trying to lead the breakout. Fleischmann forced him to turn it over. Goodbranson takes a look. See how those yellow jerseys stacked up in that neutral zone.
Pretty impressive play by Nashville so far in this game.
Well, they've been one of the best teams in the league this year. Seeing why, but the Panthers remain scoreless with them. Fleischmann in front for Grimaldi. Couldn't get a shot off, and he gets buried into the goalpost. What a shot Grimaldi took there from Volchenkov. Net dislodged, so we get a stoppage of play. Rocco looking for his first NHL goal. Panthers wrapping up the road trip, trying for a 3rd win in 4 games. We're still looking for our first goal of tonight's game.
Willie Mitchell, the captain, had a quick decision to make. He made the right one, but it's tough on the team. Watch what happens. The 3 forwards, none of them are in puck receiving mode. None of them are available. So after winning the battle, Captain Mitchell does the only thing he can do. He gets the puck out of the zone because you've got a triangle of potential receivers that are your forwards, not in good position. He ices the puck, and as you know, with that icing, now you've got to come back, take the next face-off in your own zone, and the same 5 skaters have to stay on the ice. A little bit of what we've seen throughout this game. Players not making themselves available for their puck carrying. As I've often said, oftentimes, most important player on the ice is the guy who doesn't have the puck.
Big ovation, if you're wondering. They honor one of the members of the military here in Nashville. Saw the Panther players with the stick taps as well. 4.5 to go in the second. Off a turnover, Campbell shoots, and Rinne with a glove save.
Well, that shot was pretty good because it dipped. You see the mask? Rinne has a different mask than a lot of other goaltenders. He's got that bar right inside. And I talked about Weber not shooting hard in practice. He did one day, and he bent one of those bars. I mean, that's the modern day Al McInnes. He used to shoot the puck like unbelievable.
Campbell finds another puck and gives to Ekblad with a wrist shot. Never got through all the traffic. And a penalty on the Predators. They got Huberdeau in front. Shea Weber took down Huberdeau. Huberdeau is slow getting off the ice as well. Hopefully he's okay. Well, Panthers will get a power play. Oh, Huberdeau's in some pain.
Well, I think he's got his breath, lost his breath a little bit. And it's an interference call in front of the net going to Shea Weber. So Huberdeau is still aching a little bit. Take a look at this. It was right in front of the net. And at this point, Weber just slams him down, and he falls right on his back. We've all done that. I mean, you just fall flat on your back, no arms, no legs, trying to break the fall. So you lose a little bit of your wind, but the Panthers get a power play.
First one of the night. Scrum right off the faceoff. Jokinen hustles over to the boards. Seth Jones cuts it off under pressure from Boys. And the Predators able to clear. Campbell and Ekblad will man the points. And all that created, should be noted, Denny, something you talked about in the open about that Bukestad line. The hard work of Brad Boys. And Boys jumped in, so the Panthers able to win that faceoff, control the puck, and keep it in the zone.
Right, exactly.
And then it led to the penalty, eventually. Jokinen trying to set up shop. See how aggressive the Predators are here. Ekblad finds some room over to Campbell. Big slap shot, and Rinne just got a piece of it with the glove hand. And now the puck comes out of the zone. If Campbell touches, it's an offsides.
Why didn't he touch it? You got the power play. He's got to touch it.
So no whistle, only Jokinen fires.
No whistle. Now they're just killing time.
Campbell trying to run out of his own zone to the blue line. To the red line, and he shoots in. Past Rinne. Hayes is on there now with Bjugstad. And Huberdeau back on the ice, who drew the penalty. Jokinen takes away. Good pressure by Bjugstad. Kulikov steps up. They couldn't hold it in. Bjugstad trying to get back to make it a 2-on-2, and he does nicely. Here's a shot by Ellis. Luongo with the save. Panthers looking to go the other way. Hayes down the wing, trying to get around Roy. Hayes plays it. Goodbranson gathers it in, but it's stolen away, and the Predators clear again. Panthers have power play goals in 4 straight games, but the Predators, hyper-aggressive here, have not allowed them to get set up. If they hurry, they'll get one more rush. It's Trocheck. Right up the middle. Knocked down at the line, and James Neal looking to go the other way. Goodbranson is with him. Neal takes a tricky shot that just goes wide. Grimaldi clears, and we're back to even strength hockey. And we're down to 2 minutes to go in the second period.
Well, we knew it was going to be a pretty clean hockey game.
Rinne gave it away to Fleischmann, and then he makes the save on the Fleischmann shot. Pekka Rinne turned it over, and Fleischmann unloaded in a hurry. Rinne was able to recover.
I tell you, Fleischmann has had one heck of a game so far. Had not been able to produce a goal yet. It's been a while now, but he has made so many good defensive plays. And look at how he's tracking the puck here. Good anticipation, obviously. Tough anticipation, or lack of it, by Pekka Rinne. He's got to flip that hand over top his hockey stick to make a pass. Maybe that's what gives it away. But Fleischmann, I think, is having a really solid game. Showing energy. Remember how he took down Weber in the first period? Turned pucks over on the Nashville Predators several times in the first period, to the point where they led that period 4-1 in takeaways.
McKenzie will take the draw against Jan Kruk. And the Predators have the puck. Wilson on the stick for Smith and the shoot-in. Jan Kruk and Olsen go to the corner. Here's Wilson. Puts it out towards the front of the net. It goes in! And the Predators break through. Somehow that puck goes into the Panther net. It's 1-0.
I know you've got to feel as bad as I do for Roberto Luongo. That was the 30th shot. I don't know if they've even added it. My mistake. Check that. 31st. That puck has to go off of, I believe, Willie Mitchell. I think Willie Mitchell was going to the front of the net. Inadvertently, the puck went off of something, and I'm thinking it was Willie Mitchell, or it may not have reached that far. I'm not sure. But it did hit something. It hit all Florida Panther, and the goal came from behind the net. A bad break.
Chance here. McKenzie fires, and he lost his stick. I mean, that thing broke in half, and literally right in the middle in half. McKenzie had a wide open shot there. Yossi the other way. Kicked out by Luongo, and the rebound just eludes James Neal.
Maybe Roberto's forgotten about that goal already. I mean, he has made so many plays. And that's a 33rd shot, I believe, on Roberto. He made that last save. Boy, what a bad break. And then you get another bad break as the Florida Panthers do get a setup. Watch this. This McKenzie coming in. You don't want it any better than that. Yet the stick failed him. Oh, boy.
18 minutes, 26 seconds.
Tough way to give up the first goal of the game. Predators had all those great chances, and they get a cheapo there. And it's 1-0 late in the second period.
Yeah, I still don't know exactly how it went in, but it was one of those well-set goals. A cheapo goal.
Icing on the Predators.
Well, Gerard Gallant, admitted to me this morning, I mean, this is a tough game. This team's been on the road a lot. They've had a lot of emotional games. Go into Anaheim, LA, San Jose, get 2 out of 3 wins. And here everybody's starting to think about going home, obviously, off the road trip. And we've seen that the Panthers have not been quite as sharp, legs not quite as strong as we've seen in the past 3 games. Tough game. But they're still 1 shot away from tying it up.
Here comes Boys with Bukestad and Huberdeau. It's a 3-on-2. Boys down the wing, takes the shot, and Rene got a piece of it. Campbell trying to hold it in, but now the Predators are on it in the clear. Ellis, Beck, and they shoot in. 20 to go in the period. Nick Bukestad looking for an opening. Bukestad has an opening, moving down the wing, taking a shot blocker, save by Rene. Hustling back is Aaron Ekblad as the period winds down. Good Branson ahead for Fleischmann. Takes a final shot of the period. A glove save by Rene. So the Panthers picked it up offensively a bit late in the period, but it was the Predators late in the second period that get the game's only goal so far.
It's a fluky one, too. You take a look at it here. It does go off the skate of Olsen up over the shoulder of Roberto Luongo and touches his face mask. Watch this area right here. The puck comes in, hits his face mask, and then goes down the back of the number 1 and goes in. Oh, boy. Better period by the Florida Panthers. Got a little bit of their legs back, and they're only behind by 1 shot.
Coming up in our first intermission, the fellas from Fox Sports Live will go on thin ice. The Panthers and Predators both represented. Always interesting. All the stats, highlights of this game so far. After 2 periods in Nashville, the Predators lead the Panthers 1-0. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southeast Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Panthers wrapping up their road trip. They'll have to come from behind in the third here in Nashville.
Welcome back, everybody. The beginning of the third period. There you see the score. The home team, Nashville Predators, 1-0 over the Florida Panthers. It might have been different had there been a shot on goal in this play. Grimaldi, 1 guy down. What happened? Now you're going to see a second. Can you imagine a young player? You're taking 2 defensemen out of the play, and then you try and pass, and it was so surprising to Barkov that he too fell down. Oh, Rocco Grimaldi will think about that play for a long time. You get 2 defensemen to commit, you get them going down, and you don't shoot the puck. This is where that mentality has to be totally forgotten about coming into the third period. And I talk about preparation. In the dressing room, you've really got to sit there and visualize. I'm going to get opportunities. So therefore, when it happens, it's muscle reaction. You don't have to think, you're shooting.
Another area the Panthers need to be better at in this third period is that face-off circle. Of course, Gaustad's one of the best in the league, but the Predators are at 70% in the circle. Nick Bukestad, by the way, is at 50% tonight, but the rest of the Panthers have struggled. So here we go in the third. It's Grimaldi with Huberdeau and Bukestad, so a little bit of a change up front as Gerard Gallant looking for some offensive pressure on Rene. Willie Mitchell up to center, and Huberdeau try to get it in the zone. Funneled back the other way for James Neal. The drop for Forsberg. And Willie Mitchell wouldn't let him get the shot off. Here comes Bukestad carrying in. 2 men to him. And Bukestad slides it towards the front of the net. Goes wide. Grimaldi and Huberdeau work down low. And Grimaldi away with it. Gets tripped up. No call there. Huberdeau goes off the ice. Panthers get the change. Fleischmann now with Boys and Barkov. So they flip-flop Boys and Grimaldi on these 2 lines. Fleischmann chips in. This is where the Panthers need to get to work to get a goal against Rene on that forecheck. Barkov with a bump there on Smith. Free along the boards and clear to center. Aaron Ekblad settles it down and goes for Campbell. Only goal came with 1:34 left in the second. Colin Wilson just threw it in front and pinballed around and found its way behind an unlucky goal for Roberto Luongo, who has been outstanding here tonight.
The Panthers have come into this game on playing very, very good hockey. You consider the last 10 games are 5-3-2, losing only 3 of them, getting points, getting 7 points out of, or 12 points, I should say, out of this. 3-1-1 in the last game, and now they're struggling to find that energy for the last 20 minutes or less of this game.
Roy under pressure, knocked away by Trocheck. Trocheck, Hayes, and Jokinen have produced some strong offensive numbers of late. See what they could do here in the third, but here's a steal by Matt Cullen. Taken back by Dylan Olsen. Oh, look out, stuffed in front, and then Luongo makes a great save on Cullen. Here's another shot. Volchenkov, it deflects wide. Luongo keeps it even after a turnover right in front of that Panther net.
Incredible, that second save with the right pad. Oh my.
Already with nearly a full period to go, Luongo's got the third most saves he's had in the game this year. And now they're going to get a penalty on the Panthers. Boy, is this tough. I mean, just minutes after Grimaldi got hauled down and no call, they get a hold on Florida.
This is a really, really frustrated Sean Thornton. Well, we'll see clearly on the replays. Tough to catch. Here's the play, the right side of your screen right here. That, you know, the problem with all of it, with that really is that that left arm is in there. He never holds on to the stick, but the left arm is in. And because of the way the two referees work, the one that made the call is the furthest away from the play. There's actually a dividing line by which these referees work from. That was a tough call, because you saw he never really hung on to the stick.
Ribeiro to Weber, the big slap shot, stopped by Luongo. Shea Weber's got that big shot. He and Luongo know each other well from the Team Canada Olympic Games. And another penalty on the Panthers, another shot save. It's going to be a 5-on-3.
It's going to be a high
early in the third, the Panthers getting themselves in trouble with the penalties.
Oh, this is, you can't make anything harder than this.
Kulikov to the box for the high stick, and now it's a 5-on-3 advantage for a minute 31.
Well, did he sell it, or did the stick actually go up and clip him? Now we'll see it here. As the puck goes behind the net, Kulikov will come around. The stick clips him right up into the face, right there in the shield. Pretty hard not to call that.
McKenzie with Mitchell and Goodbranson, and the Predators get set up. Weber up at the point, has the puck, goes for Ribeiro at the goal line. Neal is out there as well. Centering feed, the shot misses wide. Ryan Ellis and Goodbranson lifted it, but Weber gloves it down to hold it in. Ellis again will switch spots with Weber. Here's Ribeiro, putting it in front of the net. Forsberg with a shot, kicked out by Roberto Luongo again. Weber controls. Forsberg, Weber. Changes sides again with Ellis. Here's Ribeiro. Watched by McKenzie. Ribeiro in the slot. Gives to Neal. One-timer. He missed the net. And it carries out of the zone, and the Panthers will get some new penalty killers. That is huge.
I'll tell you what, the Panthers are doing an incredible job down by 2 men. Their movement while killing the penalty has been impressive.
Same 5 stay on for Nashville. This is Weber. Gives to Ellis. Campbell watches him. Weber again. Ellis one-timer, blocked by Campbell, and cleared by Brian Campbell.
The top guy is tremendous how they're doing it. On that particular play, you got Kopecky and Campbell kind of switching as the high guys. Campbell getting the block.
Ribeiro sets up again. 5-on-3 winding down. Ribeiro for Yossi. Here's Weber, and he fans on the big can, another shot. And Jokinen all over him, would not let. Weber reset and Thornton is back. It's now a 5-on-4 advantage. They only had one shot on the 5-on-3 to your point, Denny. Nice job by the 3 for Florida. Still on the power play are the Predators. Ribeiro for Yossi. And stolen by Fleischmann. Thomas Fleischmann just would not let Yossi get that pass off. And boy, the Panthers, a stellar job in those passing lanes.
I tell you what, terrific. Whether or not this is a really good power play team, and I'm saying they're not because of their statistics, still, you're down 5, you're down 2 men. Stellar job by the Panthers.
You got a feel on that Panther bench now. You got to be feeling pretty, hey, 15 minutes left. You're down by 1 goal on the road. Let's go now.
This could be as good as having, well, not quite as good, but it's the second best thing to scoring a goal. That could really lift the bench because now you don't have a full 60 minutes of hockey to look at.
Stolen by Huberdeau. They give to Boys. Takes a shot up high and Rene the save. And
how about a penalty here?
He got taken down, and I think they're going to call that.
I think so, too.
Huberdeau went flying into the net. Let's see if they call it. I think they are.
Yeah, I think the call is being made right there. No question. I think Seth Jones is going to the penalty box right side of your screen. Here he comes. I think there was a little bit of a trip possibly along the way, and Huberdeau kind of lost control. So Seth Jones making the contact is in the penalty box.
And the Panthers, as hard as they worked on that penalty kill, they have to work that hard on this power play. It's mandatory. Can't let your foot off the gas pedal.
Second power play chance tonight. An opportunity to get a tie. Bjugstad, Huberdeau, and Hayes are the forwards for the Panthers. And Bjugstad, unfortunately, tossed from the circle. He's been the best Panther tonight. Hayes steps in against Gaustad. The help from Huberdeau. And the Panthers control. Good play by Jonathan Huberdeau. And he takes a slap shot. Rene the save. Here's Kulikov at the line. Deflects into the corner. Huberdeau's got it there. Plays it back to Kulikov. And now Goodbranson one-timer. That was blocked in front by Ellis. Ellis tries to clear. Goodbranson knocks it down. Bouncing puck. And Goodbranson again. Over to Bjugstad. Under pressure from Ellis. Again, they can't clear. Kulikov in the high slot. He peels back. Takes a shot now. Knocked down in front. Hayes shoots it and hit the post, and a save by Rene. Oh, Hayes on the backhand. Had some room, but it stays out.
Unbelievable save. An incredible save. Here are 2 defensemen that are really pushing the outside of the envelope, and you need to do that. Kulikov getting in there. Goodbranson had done it earlier. Watch the right stick, the right hand of Pekka Rinne. That is unbelievable save, folks. He gets his stick on that puck. Hayes had to lift it, and he didn't. What a save.
Free puck along the boards off the faceoff. Boys try to dig it out of there. But the Predators able to clear. Oh, what a chance for the Panthers.
Jimmy Hayes had the goal on his stick. Could not lift it over the wide paddle of Pekka Rinne's goaltending stick.
Here comes Barkov gliding in. Gives to Ekblad at the line, now to Campbell. Ekblad straight on, gets a shot off. Deflected away by Yossi in front. Jussi Jokinen under pressure. And the Predators get the steal. Panthers locked in another tight game here in the third, trying to get one by Rinne. Huberdeau, who drew the penalty to put the Panthers on the power play, dumps it in. Bjugstad puts it in front. Huberdeau shovels it back to the point for Campbell. Huberdeau again. Good puck movement by the Panthers. Ekblad with a shot. It comes through wide. Campbell holds it in the zone. Ekblad again. Another shot. Rinne glove save, and he'll hang on.
This could have been the opportunity that made it happen. That one shot we were talking about. There's number 12 in white. Hayes, look at that. Trying to lift it over top of the stick. What a save by Pekka Rinne. I tell you what, that is quick action and using everything that equipment gives you. He has used his paddle there, and Hayes had a birthday last night. He got no gift on that play.
25 years old. And Jimmy Hayes, and nearly had another one. He's done well. 10 games played this year, 11 games played this year, 4 goals and 8 points for Hayes. Power play winds down. That was the Panthers' best chance. And it remains a 1-0 Nashville lead. Kulikov shoots in, and this is an icing on the Panthers. We always thank the Panthers season seat owners for watching. Another one of the great benefits of being a Panthers season seat owner is the My Panthers Rewards program. And the code for tonight's game is Stanley. Log on to mypanthersrewards.com and put in the broadcast code in the next 24 hours. Bukestad now with Fleischman and Hayes on for Florida. We're finally back to 5-on-5. 3 penalties called in the first 7.5 minutes of this period. That Panther penalty kill was super. Seemed to give him some life. Ribeiro trying to hold it in. It comes free to Fleischman. He lost the puck, though, but Goodbranson clears the center.
Well, I certainly like the way the Florida Panther D there, Kulikov and Goodbranson, really pinching in the offensive zone. Very aggressive while on the power play.
Forsberg. Ahead for Neal or offside. 12-10 left here in Nashville. Great goaltending matchup tonight. Some Panther fans hoping the Cats can get it even up. They nearly did a few minutes ago, Billy.
Pekka Rinne, unbelievable in this game. What a goaltender. He's 10-0-1 on the season when allowing 2 goals or less. Does not give up a lot of goals, and making saves like this, it's no wonder why he's one of the top goaltenders in the NHL. It's our ADT defensive play of the game, and that is just absolutely highway robbery. Jimmy Hayes looks skyward at the end of that. Pekka Rinne was drafted 258th overall in the 2004 draft. 257 players were taken ahead of this guy. How does that happen? Unbelievable. He's going to be one of the top goaltenders in the NHL for a long, long time. What a find by the Nashville Predators.
And they've had a history of having good goaltenders here. Remember, they had Thomas Vokoun. Panthers, ironically, traded for Vokoun after they traded Roberto Luongo to Vancouver. So the Panthers getting some chances now, trying to get one by Rinne. What a game Luongo's had. 37 saves already. It's the second most he's had in the game already this year.
Well, it was advertised right from the beginning, as we did to advertise the fact that there are 2 giants in goal in this hockey game.
We also talked about the 2 rookies, Forsberg and Ekblad. Forsberg has had 7 shots on goal in the game, leading everybody. Fans, go to the promotions tab on PanthersFanRewards.com and enter the Fox Sports Florida Sweepstakes to win tickets for the Panthers Capitals game on December 16th at the BB&T Center.
Forsberg a little ahead of Aaron Ekblad in terms of the fact that Forsberg played 47 games in the American League last year. That is a big bonus.
Was drafted 2 years before Ekblad.
Yeah, a little older, and certainly has shown that he can play. He leads his team in scoring and plus minus.
Oh, look out here. Colin Wilson moving in. Youngkrug went to the net. Panthers recovered well. Here's a shot on goal. Stopped by Luongo. Fleischman could not get it out of the zone, though, as Ryan Ellis held in. And now cleared. Fleischman looking to get a step. Fleischman in over the line. Ekholm closed on him. Fleischman double team. And Fleischman continues to battle. Well, now the Predators will clear it down the ice.
I hope he gets an opportunity. I don't know that Thomas Fleischman has had a better game than what he has shown here tonight. The energy that he's been able to produce when the rest of the team has had a tough time finding it, he has really been stellar. I hope he gets a chance to finish it off.
Panthers at the blue line trying to hold it in. And Sean Thornton nearly did, but they'll say it came out. Offside with a whistle.
I think when Sean Thornton heard the whistle, he raised his head. What did I do now? Poor Sean Thornton. You know, that last penalty, you put that arm out like this into the stomach, and the referee that makes a call is way at the other end of the ice because there's a formula these referees have in terms of the one who should have the best vision of the play. And he became a victim on that particular one, did Sean Thornton.
Goodbranson. Oh, taken away by Roy. Sneaky play there by the veteran Derek Roy. Now Cullen. Jokinen funnels it up to the point. Jones Gives to Roy and Cullen again. Through to Olli Jokinen behind the net. He overskated though. Roy one more time. Volchenkov shoots, knocked down in front.
What's obvious here is Nashville's getting to the puck first.
This line now spending a shift in the Panther zone. It's Roy again. Throws across ice. Jokinen tracks it down. Tipped by Kopecky, but held in by Jones. Good Branson now around the boards. It hit the stanchion in the glass, right on the stick for McKenzie. He'll flip in, and the Panthers get a wholesale change midway through the third.
Those 3 strides by McKenzie, very important, very smart play. Had to get the puck in deep for a line change. Those 3 strides got him to center ice.
Kulikov with Forsberg. Barkov back defensively. Kulikov for Fleischmann. Fleischmann hit. Mitchell takes the puck. He's under pressure. Fleischmann tipped it over to the far side, and Brad Boyce lead pass looking for Fleischmann behind him though. Ekholm. And now Ellis up the middle. Into the Panther zone, flips to the wing. Ribeiro centering pass. It's Forsberg shooting, and Luongo is there again for Florida. Roberto Luongo keeping it a 1-goal game, stopping Forsberg, who's a top 10 scorer in the NHL. Panther fans here in Nashville hoping for a game-tying goal. The Predators remain up 1-0.
They're everywhere, these Panther fans. Every
like it.
building we have been in on the West Coast, we have had Panther fans. Peter Laviolette, the new coach of this hockey team, has just seen the St. Louis Blues hop above them. St. Louis beat Ottawa today. They got 27 points. Nashville, for the first time in a long time, no longer in the first place in this Central Division. What a tough division this is. Chicago, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Dallas, Colorado having an odd start.
Ooh, that one changed directions and dropped down. Luongo makes another save. Knocked away by Grimaldi. And the Panthers break out. Bukestad trying to settle that puck down, rolling on him. He flips in, tracks it down. Bukestad feeds Campbell at the blue line with a wrist shot, just missed wide.
Boy, Grimaldi seemed to be all over that puck with his stick on the ice. Must have just gone over his hockey stick. Good shot by Campbell. Just get that wrist shot in there.
Huberdeau tracks it down, then lost the puck as he tried to cross the blue line. Seth Jones up to center. Only goal in this game came late in the second period. Wilson behind the Panther net, flipped it towards the front of the net. It bounced off a Panther, off Roberto Luongo's mask somehow, and into the net. Here comes Hayes. Trocheck goes to the net. Hayes backhander, though, hits the outside of the net, and Nystrom has the puck. Panthers came close earlier in the period on the power play. Rene with a great stick save on Hayes. That's where we are. Luongo has stopped 40 shots tonight. That's a season high for him. See the Predators all stacked up at center. Look at them on the other side of that red line. Volchenkov gets it through to Cullen. Jokinen, checked by Hayes. Picked up again by Cullen. 38-year-old Matt Cullen. Stolen by Trocheck. Positioned well.
Still
and
has the wheels.
Deflects out of play.
Cullen still has the wheels. Huge night for Roberto Luongo. 41 shots he has faced, 40 saves, and the one that went in was just a fluke. Shouldn't have beat him early. Went off the skate of a defender, his own, and then it kind of rolled down his back into the net. Best opportunity for the Florida Panthers came on a power play after killing off a 5-on-3, or I should say 3-on-5. Jimmy Hayes had a chance. Pekka Rinne came up with his best save of the night.
Barkov. Oh, a chance in front, and Cullen scores!
Well, we just talked about Cullen, a 38-year-old, still got the wheels, and he is always an opportunist. That's a tough goal. Watch what happens here. The puck is supposed to be passed over to Barkov. He gets caught in the center, and nobody is in front of the net. You've got both Kulikov. Barkov goes by the play as, well, I guess it was Derek Roy who made the very good play in the corner. The Nashville Predators will be remembered in this game as the team who got to the pucks first. And that was another example.
Huge goal to make it 2-0. And the puck in the Panther zone here. James Neal after it in the corner. Good check by McKenzie on Forsberg. Thornton on the clear, but it'll carry all the way for an icing. Panther fans, the U-Pick-6 package. You can customize your own 6-game ticket package for as low as $114. And check out the Winter in the Sun pack, which includes Panther home games. From December 4th through March 3rd, call 954-835-PUCK. Panthers right now down by 2 in the finale of their road trip before returning home Monday night against the Wild. Off the draw, puck out to center, flip back in. Panthers really have to push it now. Down by 2. Huberdeau trying to get it through to Bukestad, but tipped away. Colin Wilson watched by Ekblad. Bukestad takes it. Panther offense been alive. 21 goals in their last 6 games. Nothing so far tonight. Grimaldi trying to change that. Takes the shot. Kicked out. Big rebound. Bukestad, and Rene made the save. Good shot by Grimaldi. Bouncing side of the net. Huberdeau 1x1. Bukestad couldn't climb into the slot with it. And the clear. Goodbranson gets hit out at center ice. Nystrom went down. Hear the official yelling no, no, meaning no icing. Hayes looking to lift it out to center. Bouncing puck. Gathered in by Jokinen. He finds Trocheck. Hayes now on the wing. Takes a quick shot. That goes wide. And the puck came over the line, offside. Beck was in the zone early. Getting late in the third, the Panthers down by a pair.
Welcome back. You see Matt Cullen getting the second goal for the Nashville Predators, and Dmitry Kulikov shaking his head. And we're going to show you why. It's been tough. Kulikov trying to get back into position, gets right in front of the net. The puck goes off of him and through the legs of Roberto Luongo. It's been an unfortunate night. I mean, as tough as Nashville has played, and I'm going to give Nashville a lot of credit. There's only one team in the NHL that has allowed fewer goals than the Nashville Predators, and that's been the Chicago Blackhawks. But the Predators got 2 goals on very, very tough deflections. Roberto Luongo has been outstanding. He's faced 42 shots. And it just seemed as though the Florida Panthers, at the end of a long road trip, were missing that one step. They've been beaten to the puck in most areas by a high-energy Nashville team.
Couple of bounces, both goals for the Predators. Here comes Grimaldi in front. Jokinen! It hit the post. It was a wide-open net.
It hit both posts.
You think it was in?
It hit both posts. It did not go in.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. Jokinen had himself an open net. Wow, it stayed out. Here they come again. It's Trocheck with a shot. Saved by Rene. It deflected on goal.
Well, they're not going to lay down. They're telling us that.
Another shot by Trocheck comes all the way through. Jokinen just there. Hayes earlier with Rene reaching back with the stick. 2 great chances for the Panthers here in the third. But nothing to show for it. And now a steal by the Predators, taken back by Boys. That's one thing this Panther team has shown. The hard work, the resiliency, they don't go away. Boys dumps in. Barkov and Kopecky looking to get to work. Kopecky over to Barkov behind the net. Stolen by Ellis. Mitchell stepped up trying to keep it alive. But the Predators able to flip it to the Panther line.
A little holding going on there with the hockey stick.
Kopecky lost it.
Ellis got away with it.
Down to 3:35 left in the third. Taken by Wilson. Luongo with another stop. Oh, how close did UC Jokinen come? Let's take a look.
Well, take a look. That's a good hard pass. It hits one goal post right here, hits another goal post. It goes off. It just doesn't get worse. It doesn't get any worse.
Wow.
Oh, my. Jimmy Hayes, backhand on the power play. A great save, stops it, and this one here, those are two plays that should have been goals. And when you consider both goals by Nashville of the fluky kind.
No question.
Deflection.
Tough breaks.
Yeah.
Rocco Grimaldi away with it. Now Goodbranson steps up, and it's off Rene's glove. Smith backhands down the ice.
Rene plays his glove like a third baseman. I'd probably stay away from there. He has made at least 7 or 8 or 6 or 7 glove saves on the Florida Panthers.
Huberdeau hit hard at the blue line by Weber. Grimaldi trying to dig it free. It comes to the point for Ekblad. Here's Bjugstad and Grimaldi looking in front. Puts it towards the front of the net, deflected away. Grimaldi on it again. Rocco goes up high, but it's through Ekblad. Grimaldi working hard. He set up that chance for Jokinen to hit both posts. Here comes UC Jokinen. Lead pass. Would have been offside. Down to 2:20 left.
Now we'll see how early Jared Gallant pulls his goaltender. Roberto's looking at the bench already.
Dumped in. Ellis is back. Panthers don't have possession. Luongo's still in the net. As it comes all the way down, and this will be an icing call on Nashville. We'll see what the Panthers do here with 1:58 to go. After this, the Panthers are heading home. 3-game homestand starting Monday against Minnesota. Then a pre-Thanksgiving game against Carolina. The night after Thanksgiving, Friday against Ottawa. Hope to see you at the BB&T Center. Panthers playing some exciting hockey. We'll have more for you right here on Fox Sports Florida. As well, it's a 3-game homestand for the Cats, who have now called a timeout with 1:58 to go.
Well, the talk is right now, get puck possession. I think you mentioned that puck has to be in possession of the Florida Panthers in the offensive zone. That is if the play is underway for Roberto Luongo to be called to the net. But it's getting very close now. So there's going to be talk about what it is that they need to do. You've got to get the win. You've got to get the wingers to help the centermen win that faceoff, because as we mentioned, after period number 2, Nashville Predators had won 71% of the faceoffs. You're not going to win it clean. You can't be thinking that. Now he's not even going to back, yeah?
So they'll have the face-off in the offensive zone. I told you I talked to Roberto this morning about the San Jose game, and he told me, I love that building, and I really like this building too, and he played a whale of a game tonight. Now Luongo's on the bench, and the Panthers trying to get something done. Bjugstad, Hayes, Barkov, and Huberdeau are the forwards. See what Bjugstad can do in the circle against Olli Jokinen.
You know where Hayes is going to be.
Campbell and Ekblad back at the points. Puck free along the boards. They get it to Campbell, and now it's Bjugstad. Down low, Barkov. Huberdeau falls down. Puck is free along the boards. Ekblad try to pinch, but it's cleared. Campbell to center and the dump in. Huberdeau's after it with Ekholm. Huberdeau with the check. Bjugstad digs it free, rolls it around for Campbell. Back behind Huberdeau. Ekblad at the point. Stolen away and cleared. Both teams make some changes. Ekblad and Campbell had a little miscommunication. Jokinen comes all the way back. And Boys over to Trocheck. Jokinen in over the line onside. Hit by Shea Weber. Free behind the net. Boys try to get it in front. Now it's Trocheck and Boys over to Jokinen. Boys sharp angle shot kicked out by Rene.
Got to get people in front of the net.
Boys again, no white jerseys are there right now. Grimaldi goes to the point. Ekblad gets to the forehand. Back again for Grimaldi. cross-ice pass. Campbell off the boards. Backhander in front. Here's Grimaldi. Score! First of the career for Rocco Grimaldi. And it gives the Panthers a shot. We got a one-goal game with 42.6 to go.
Did you have any idea that he was not going to miss this opportunity? Rocco Grimaldi was prepared. He was not going to look for a pass. That is the way to play professional hockey. Sometimes you are in that spot. There is no decision to be made. Rocco Grimaldi gets a good bounce. The puck comes back to him. I don't know if it went off of Trocheck's skate or the defenseman Shea Weber, but it came back to him, got a good flat puck, and he put it away.
Luongo is back in the net for the draw at center. Now we've got a one-goal game. Huge face-off here. Bjugstad against Jan Kruk. And the Panthers control. Ekblad shoots in. Luongo gets off the ice. Would this be something if the Panthers can get one more? Extra skater on. Here's Bjugstad. Score! They did it! Oh, my goodness! 2 goals in the final minute with the goaltender pulled. These Cats have 9 lives. We're tied at 2 with 30 seconds left.
What's the record for the quickest 2 goals by the Florida Panthers? This is unbelievable. And by the way, after Roberto Luongo got to the bench, the guy that jumped on the ice was Grimaldi. You get another break. That shot must have hit something, and it got by Pekka Rinne, where the Florida Panthers were not seeing any puck luck throughout this hockey game. They get 2 breaks in the final 42 seconds of the hockey game to tie it up.
Unbelievable. The Panthers just would not go away. Kept on plugging. Here's Weber shooting. Save Luongo. And then he robs Smith right on the doorstep. The Predators nearly retook the lead. Kulikov skates it out. Kopetsky shoots in on goal. Weber looking to clear. Stolen by Kopetsky. Weber clears the slot. And the Panthers will claim a point in Nashville. 2 goals, 12 seconds apart in the final minute with the goaltender pulled. That's 5 points on this road trip. And there's one more still available. OT is next. There are a few moments in every season, and it's a long 82-game season that could be defining moments. The Panthers may have just had one here in Nashville, down 2-0. Rocco Grimaldi scored at 19:18 of the third, and then the goaltender pulled a few seconds later. The Panthers, Denny, got it tied. Wow.
The hot hand of Nick Bjugstad. We talk about how he has been so dominant throughout this West Coast swing. 4 goals, 3 assists in the 3 games his team has played here on the West Coast. Now back in Nashville, Tennessee, he unleashes a wrist shot that had eyes. That is how that puck went in. It found a way in. And Nick Bjugstad gets his 7th goal of the season to tie it up. But I got to tell you, the heavy heart of Rocco Grimaldi is no longer heavy. He just blasted one home to give the Panthers a chance at tying it.
2 goals in 12 seconds. The team record, by the way, is 10 seconds.
Oh!
But nonetheless, I mean, incredible comeback by the Panthers, who would not go away. And now we're 4-on-4 in overtime. Luongo is back in the net, and boy, does he deserve at least 1 point and maybe even 2 tonight if he can get them. Bjugstad is in. Bouncing puck for Huberdeau. Bjugstad again. Panthers trying to complete the comeback with a 2nd straight overtime win on the road. Huberdeau on the doorstep, tied up. Bjugstad kicks it free. Panthers have him back on their heels now after the stirring comeback in the final minute. Huberdeau behind the net. Willie Mitchell goes down, free along the boards, and here's Bjugstad one more time battling. And Huberdeau over to Bjugstad. Shea Weber all over Big Nick. He just throws him down. And they let that go. That's unbelievable. Ribeiro carries. Cross ice for Josi. Played around the boards. Ribeiro again. Bounces off a check. Huberdeau right there with him. Ribeiro controlling up high. Finally gets rid of the puck. Ekholm circles back. Now Ellis with a shot and Luongo with his 43rd save of the game. Let's go down to Billy.
And gentlemen, you got to go back to that 5-on-3 penalty kill. No doubt at the start of this third period. They get through that unscathed. That's a big part. And Roberto Luongo tonight now 44 saves. He's the other player. He's been the best Panther all around, but that 5-on-3 penalty kill was key.
Panthers win the faceoff. And remember, after that 5-on-3 kill, the Panthers had two great chances. Hayes and then Jokinen hit both goalposts, but the Cats just hung in there. 2 goals in the final minute tie it. Forsberg. Watched by Barkov. Forsberg still with it. There's a drop pass and a shot kicked out by Luongo. Another shot, and Roberto got that with the arm. Roberto Luongo putting on a clinic in Music City tonight. He's got 45 saves. Overtime continues. Forsberg again. Holmes waiting, takes a shot, tipped away by Kulikov. Jan Kruk behind the Panther net. Feeds it up high, Smith shoots. And Roberto's got that one too. He is on fire, Denny.
Well, I tell you what, he made some save that is quite incredible. This kid, Forsberg, is also really incredible, but that blocker save on the backhand, it may not have been the zippiest of backhands, but folks, that was going in the net. Look at this angle. Roberto Luongo recovering, and again, the blocker save. These two goalies are giants. We've already said this. And the Florida Panthers started to pile up shots as well. 30.
Smith. Yossi circling. Finds Shea Weber. Fakes the big shot, and McKenzie just pushed him out.
He almost snuck away with the puck as well, did Derek McKenzie.
Bjugstad knocks it down at center. Bjugstad feeling it now. But Yossi gets the red line and the Panther line. Ribeiro up for Weber. The quick shot high over the net. Ribeiro again for James Neal. Bjugstad is with him. Mitchell over for the poke check. It comes to Ribeiro, and now Yossi again at the line. Ribeiro trying to get out in front, tipped away by Mitchell. Huberdeau there to cover. Oh, Huberdeau put it behind the net.
Kulikov is a little tired there.
Yeah, Neal's got it. Panthers need a whistle. You got those long changes in overtime, remember? Ribeiro with Kulikov all over him. Ribeiro able to fight through. He turns now, doesn't take the shot. Ekholm straight on. It's Neal. Ekholm again. Panthers have some tired skaters. Mitchell cuts it off. Finds Huberdeau. And now Bjugstad. And he gets it into the Nashville zone, and the Panthers get the much-needed change. Florida 2 goals in the final minute with the extra skater on. Grimaldi and then Bjugstad to get it tied. In overtime, it's Forsberg. Hit the outside of the Panthers' net. Brian Campbell has the puck. Rocco's got it again now. Grimaldi flips ahead for Campbell. Campbell over the line. Grimaldi going to the net. Here's the shot, blocked away in front by Ekholm. Rolls deep in the Panther zone. Campbell is the first man back. Vincent Trocheck now in OT. Gets his legs moving through center. Trocheck hangs on, moving over the line. Here's Ekblad with a shot, blocked away by Seth Jones. Nice back check there by Trocheck. Trocheck takes away. Trocheck looking for a chance, but just couldn't quite reach the puck. And the Predators clear. Wilson on the shoot-in. Final seconds of overtime. Yossi and Willie Mitchell wouldn't let him free. Now the shot on Roberto. Rips that one away with a glove. 48 saves for Roberto Luongo. He's looking to make a couple more, Denny. We're going to the shootout for the second straight game.
Well, a lot of people, including myself, have seen Roberto Luongo play a lot of hockey, and I'm not so sure that we could go to the archives and find a better game for Roberto Luongo. The 2 goals that did go against him had nothing to do with goaltending. 50 shots he has faced in the hockey game, some of the best saves we've seen in his career, and the last one on a backhand from sensational rookie Philip Forsberg, the blocker save. Quite outstanding. And then, of course, you got to go with the resilience. This Florida Panther team, as tired as they showed to be in the first 40 minutes, found something in the third, and they never laid back. Even after the second goal down 2-0, I don't think they had any problem thinking they might have a chance of coming back. And Rocco Grimaldi got it going with his first NHL goal, and that's a huge goal.
Here we go. Derek Roy will start the shootout. Second straight shootout for the Panthers. And Roy speeds right in down the middle. Slows down, stick handling, and Roberto stayed right with him.
Well, I think the idea here, folks, is that he's trying to get the goaltender to continue the backward motion. See, the further back a goaltender is, the more net you're going to have to shoot at.
Huberdeau is 2 for 3 this year. The one he missed the other night in San Jose, he had Antti Niemi beat. He hit the post. Huberdeau on Rinne, trying to give the Panthers the lead in the shootout. And Rinne able to make the save.
Trying to go 5-hole on the big fella. Not a bad idea. Take a look. The legs are locked. The legs are locked. There seemed to be room, but it was the hockey stick. It was Pekka Rinne's stick that made the save.
Ryan Ellis, the defenseman. Second round of the shootout. Ellis slows down, and Luongo stays right with him.
Well, he had nowhere to go. Ellis had nowhere to go. The tracking device in Roberto Luongo is very sharp right now.
Jussi Jokinen scored for the Panthers Thursday in San Jose against his fellow countryman, the Finn Pekka Rinne. Can Jokinen give Luongo a chance to win it? Here comes Jussi with speed right up the gut. And Rinne makes the save with the stick hand.
I mean, the outstanding goaltending is continuing. Pekka Rinne faced 30 shots in this game as well, made some incredible saves. The best one on a power play attempt by Hayes, and this one on Jussi Jokinen.
Here's Smith. Gathers the puck in and comes from the right side. Walking in, weaving on Luongo, and a pad save for Roberto Luongo, and now Florida can win it.
Couple of shooters trying to go 5-hole. May not be a bad idea. Tall goaltenders, long legs. You see the 5-hole, but Roberto able to close it quicker than the shot.
5 goals on the road trip and 1 shootout winner. Can Bjugstad do it again? Rinne with a poke check. He never let Bjugstad get the shot off. Smart.
Well, I guess, you get to a point where a goaltender knows he's going to use his stick. And Pekka Rinne has been using his stick very well in this hockey game. And again here, you see the poke check. Might look a little desperate. Maybe it was, but it certainly was a good save.
The outstanding rookie Philip Forsberg now on the veteran Roberto Luongo, and he gets it through him.
That is not fair. Too much poise for that age. Too much poise. You know the what? He just shot the puck quicker than the goalie Roberto Luongo got set. That is pretty good poise. I tell you what, this kid can play.
Brad Boyes, one of the best ever in the shootouts with 37 goals. Trying to keep the Panthers alive. Boyes makes a move, and Rinne able to make the save. And the Predators get the only goal in the shootout. The Panthers earn a point with a stirring comeback, 2 goals in the last minute. But Rinne able to hold it down, and Nashville wins the shootout. What a thriller to wrap up a super road trip for the Panthers.
It could have been an amazing road trip. Instead, it was just amazing. The Florida Panthers coming back in the fashion that they did to gain the point in this game is all you need to know that this team is for real. The save by Pecorine by the left leg. Boy, I tell you what, all of 6'6" of Pecorine was needed there, as Brad Boyes had a really good move on the star goaltender.
Yeah, look at him stretch out that left leg. There was just no room between the post and Rinne's pad. We saw two world-class goaltenders.
Yep. Play their best.
Yeah, they did not disappoint. But the Panthers, I mean, 2 goals, 12 seconds apart in the final minute to earn a point. All the highlights, and we'll hear from the locker room and analysis coming up next from Nashville.